thinking back, it probably was deciding to move away to go to college. I come from a very traditional Catholic family, as I mentioned before. A female's not supposed to leave the house until they get married. My grandma actually stopped talking to me for several months after I went to college because I had moved out. Several of my nieces and nephews were told that I was being a bad example for moving out. But I knew that education was important. My mom only went to 6th grade. My dad only went up to 3rd grade. They knew education was important. But they were hoping that I would follow my sister's footsteps and get a college degree while living at home. I love my family, but I also know myself, and I knew college was going to be a lot harder than high school. I knew that I was going to need my own space to be able to focus and be successful. I come from a very big family. I have 10 nieces and nephews. There was constantly kids at the house running around. I never had my own room. I had to always share with somebody. So I knew it was going to be very hard to focus and get through all the schoolwork that I needed to do while in college. It was very hard because I'm very close to, especially my mom and my sister. They've been my strongest supporters throughout. Although my mom, she means well, but when I would stay up in high school to finish all the schoolwork, she would encourage me to do well. But if she saw that I was staying up too late, she was like, well, just finish it later or go to bed, get your rest. But my stubbornness was like, no, I'm not going to go to bed until I finish, because it's better to get it done than having to wake up super early, figure out how to do it before it's due. So deciding to go to college basically allowed me to spread my wings, become more independent. I love cooking, but it wasn't until I actually moved out that I truly learned how to cook. Because when I was at home, I would try to learn, but my mom would always step in because she's like, you're not doing it right. But it was learning all the stuff where she couldn't step in and save me from learning, basically. So that decision basically, it was hard, but it made me realize that I was brave enough to do things on my own. I wasn't too far. I was only a 2-hour drive. So if I needed them, I could always come home. But in a way, it basically opened the doors to work in aerospace, to work at Boeing, because I basically moved to LA and didn't really ever move back home, except to go visit during the summers. And I've been here where my career has basically taken off, where I've discovered that I love aerospace. I love space in general. As you can see in the background, I love puzzles. So I love building. That's a 1,000-piece puzzle back there. So I think that the decision to move out to go to college was probably what shaped a lot of who I am today, and it gave me the opportunity to explore and realize how brave I truly was. And then just moving forward and be able to pursue different opportunities, different careers, basically being able to explore. I even went and took an assignment in San Antonio for a year. Moved back after a year because I realized that I really like California more than I like Texas. I like the weather here a lot better. But it's just basically those small little things that make a huge difference. It wasn't until probably about 5 years ago when I was called back to my undergraduate school to be the keynote speaker at the Latino graduation. I took my mom because it was going to be in Spanish because my parents still don't speak English. And that's when I finally told my mom that I had lied to them about having to move away to college, that I had done the paperwork and in some cases filled everything out that they should have. And I knew I wanted to tell her, but I also was afraid of her reaction. So I figured if I tell her in a speech in front of 500 people, there's no way she's going to react badly. She's proud of me now. She's very very happy that I'm able to have a better life than she did. She grew up in small ranch that I grew up in my early childhood, but she was only able to pursue to sixth grade. So now she's amazed that I'm able to do so many things and do so many cool stuff. I own my own house now, and I tell her stories about things that I fixed around the house, and she's like, "How are you fixing that?" And I have to remind her, I'm like, "Mom, don't you realize and forget that I'm actually an engineer, and I know my way around a toolbox, and I can fix things." So yeah, going back to basically that was one of the most important decisions that I made.